But for this week, we decided to go with the best character growth for a supporting character.
Yeah.
Now, we decided for supporting character, we didn't just want to say go other than Goku.
Yeah.
That would be a bit too easy.
Mm.
Everyone would just say Vegeta.
Mhm.
So we decided to say no Goku, no Vegeta, no Trunks, and no Gohan.
Yeah.
We would say they're all too close to having way too much focus on themselves
Yeah.
that they've all been main characters at some point.
Yeah. Gohan had the whole Cell saga. Trunks had multiple times, I guess, Android
Mhm.
saga and the Back to the Future
Yeah,
saga
he's
in
had, he's
Super.
had he's had Z and Super,
Yeah.
where he's been high focus.
Yeah. So
Vegeta,
yeah,
he's yeah.
Vegeta's had loads throughout, but we ruled out those four characters. And since you won, you can go first. So, who do you think had the best character growth out of everyone else? I guess.
See, I've actually got two, and they are literally matched.
Hmm.
So you're lucky. So if I've picked yours, I'm happy for you to have them, and I'll go
I've
to my other
I've got a
choice.
backup. I'm prepared, but
Oh,
my
you're happy.
my
You're happy. All
my
right.
main one I'm hoping I can use, but let's see anyway. Who are you going with?
I am going with the Turtle Hermit himself, Master
Oh,
Roshi.
all right. That's a surprising one. Okay, yeah,
This gentleman has been around since OG, since before OG.
yeah.
He's been here since throughout. I think a lot of people they've been here since Z. It's the most common for a lot of people, I would say.
Hmm.
And I think because of that, I would say he doesn't get as much as respect as maybe he should. I think throughout Z he teetered off quite a bit,
Yeah.
but throughout Dragon Ball
Hmm.
original, he was the main man.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he was there through the original Demon King Piccolo. He was there when he was originally put away. He worked alongside. I mean, there was working alongside Shen. He fought alongside Gohan, original Gohan.
Hmm.
He was there with Child. He's seen Child Goku. He trained Krillin and Goku.
Yeah.
He's the original user of the Kamehameha. He's over 300 years old at the inception of Dragon Ball. How can this man not be considered? And he's still going now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had such development throughout. He's entered every tournament nigh on. We've discussed this with he came in as Jackie Chun.
And won. He won the
Yeah,
tournament.
yes, he kept Krill out. He's had Goku. He's handed it to pretty much every Z fighter in some capacity. He's always been here, and I just think it's disrespectful not to recognize that.
Hmm.
And I think it is kind of sad that in Z it did teeter off, that he just basically became this pervy old man.
Yeah.
And I think that he coming back to Super, I think they've looked at it and they've said that,
He's a fan favorite.
yeah,
Let's fix him.
and in Super, he's done a lot.
He has.
He's came back strong, and I looked in it, and in the Tournament of Power, he arguably did more than any Z fighter.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably right.
Yeah,
Out of the Z fighters, at least. Yeah. Definitely.
yeah, he did so much that he managed to get Beerus, God of Destruction, to
Impressed.
say, well, yeah, impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Krillin didn't do that. Ken didn't do that. Piccolo didn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that is impressive. He literally nearly gave his life to do that. He took out people left, right, and center. He was on point,
Hmm.
and he had arguably I would say arguably the most emotional moment in Super. I would say he stuck that
Hmm.
when
Yeah.
he,
Definitely.
yeah. I think when he Kamehameha used the last of his energy, uh, Goku had to use the energy CPR to bring him back to life. I think that was a brilliant moment for me. I really, really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I think he during Resurrection F, when he's fighting Frieza's minions, I think it's a great flex where you get to see, it's just seeing huge Roshi
Yeah.
again. It's just great, and I just think I really really like that they brought back proper Roshi
Mm.
rather than him just being the pervy old man
Mhm.
in Z.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, I don't know original Dragon Ball as much as I'd like. I've seen a lot of it. I do wish that I'd seen it in its entirety, and I'm going to. I know a lot of it, but I want to see it all fully
Mm.
to truly appreciate the Turtle Hermit.
Yeah.
But I can truly recognize that this is a man who's gone from the start. He's basically he is responsible for everything that's happening now. Without him, we wouldn't have our little boy Wonder.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have our little traveling adventure monkey boy, and you know, turning like he trained Goku. I mean, he was the one who showed him the Kamehameha.
Mm.
Well, he copied, uh, he cheekily copied the Kamehameha. He saw him do it, and then he copied it,
Yeah.
which is a bit cheeky because it was the reason he chose to train him. But he's always been about, and I think Z did him dirty a little bit,
Mm.
but I think it's finally now that they're bringing him back, they're recognizing it and they give him some love.
Mhm.
And I mean, they even the reason that he entered the tournament of power, they actually said that he's been secretly training, and that what he didn't just train for the tournament of power. It showed that he'd always been training just in the
Mm.
background, and that's why they took him.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're hinting that they always want him secretly there in the background
Mhm.
to be used.
Yeah.
And I like that because it means that we might see more of him in the future.
Yeah.
Um,
I
so
really
no,
like that as
uh,
well. Like, I kind of, in a way, even though I love Master Roshi, I think he's an incredible character. I kind of wish he did die in the Tournament of Power. Oof.
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
It
like
would have
he had that. He had such a massive, massive episode. The saddest moment in Dragon Ball, the most heart wrenching moment in Dragon Ball, and there was the rule in place where you can't kill anyone, otherwise you're disqualified, and no one does that. No one does that. There isn't a single death. And Master Roshi, out of all people dying, would have had the most impact, 100%. They teased it in this episode. Everyone thought he was going to die. I think it would have been kind of even better if he did.
the
Even though I
speech
like
as
him.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything
as
made
well.
sense. They were pointing towards him dying, and maybe they had already done all of this writing and decided, yeah, we're going to kill him, and then at the last minute decided, actually, let's not do that. After they'd already done everything else, who knows? I don't know, but I think it would have been good to see him die.
No.
Ugh.
I just think there's been so much from the Tail Hermit that he's been here to have been here from the start,
Mm.
been one of the original characters, and to still be here now, running so strong, and to have come back with such a powerful, as strong as he has.
Mm.
Like I was tempted to pick Krillin, but it's more the fact that Krillin's always been here, and the fact that Roshi's came back so strong
Mm.
is what stood out to me. Is that he had such an impact in the original Dragon Ball, and that he basically made Goku literally, and the fact that he was there in the original fight, the most important fight of Dragon Ball,
Mm-hmm.
to then come back so strong in the most pivotal fights where he was clearly outmatched in the Tournament of Power, and to hold his own to such an amazing degree.
Mm.
That is growth to me.
Yeah.
That you can't keep him down. He's that old. You just can't keep him down, and I just think that's impressive. I'm really impressed, and yeah, so that's why he is my pick for the Hall of Fame.
Fair enough. And I'm proud of you right now. I'm so proud. You picked someone from original Dragon Ball. You explained it well. So proud. Um, but you mentioned my pick. My pick is Krillin.
Had a
And
feeling.
yeah, I'm going to explain why. And there's a lot of stuff that people won't know about Krillin because of the stuff that happened in original Dragon Ball. and he has changed a lot throughout, from the start to the very end to now. There's a lot of stuff happening. So the first time you're introduced to Krillin, you see him as this bald, jealous little angry kid, and it's because he is kicked out of the Orin Temple because he's the worst fighter there. He's bullied, he's the youngest one, he's not very powerful, he's not very strong, and he leaves because he's tired of being bullied, and he's an angry little kid who just wants better. And he goes to see Master Roshi with a stack of like women's magazines and stuff to try and convince him to train him. Because Krillin also says to Master Roshi, like, look, I want to get strong so I can like basically say ha ha to these bullies, and also because he wants to get women. That's why Krillin does it, you know. He's kind of a bit like, yeah, I want to get women and all this stuff, and that's why he wants to train, and that's why he wants Master Roshi's help, because he knows Master Roshi is also motivated by the same things. So Krillin starts as that type of character, and it's like, that's very different to the Krillin of now. And even throughout the start of Dragon Ball, Krillin has this one-sided rivalry with Goku, where he's constantly trying to defeat him. He's constantly trying to one-up him. He doesn't like Goku at all. If anything, he hates Goku. He hates the fact that there's this other kid that's also training with Master Roshi, who's slightly better than him at everything. And, you know, Krillin is constantly trying to prove that he can keep up with Goku and trying to outsmart him and stuff, because Krillin sees Goku as this idiot jungle boy who, you know, doesn't deserve to be around with him, doesn't deserve to be training with him. And that's why every time Master Roshi puts them against each other, Krillin tries to cheat to win. And he does so a few times. He cheats on missions that the two go on together, but he's constantly trying to keep up with him. And it isn't until the first martial arts tournament where Krillin kind of has a change of heart and he realizes the good in Goku, and they become friends. But up until that point, Krillin was this nasty little kid who's trying to cheat and like play dirty and all this stuff, wanting to train to get women and everything like that. And it is really good to me that even though Krillin becomes more of a good guy, he still in a way keeps those motivations as he gets older and moves into Z. Because a lot of people did start with Z, and they'll know Krillin as like the ultimate good guy, I guess, you know. He never does wrong. He's a pure-hearted guy, constantly fighting the good fight. But you've got to remember, he's also still motivated by women. And that's why, you know, he meets Marin. And, you know, he's showing off. He's buying all these clothes. He's buying the fast car. He's got the expensive suits on. He's spoiling Marin, buying everything she wants. And it's like, yeah, this is the Krillin from original Dragon Ball. This is what he wanted to be. And he succeeds in that. And that's character growth right there. He manages to train, he gets strong, he grows older and wiser. He does become a nice guy, but also he still keeps them roots. He gets what he wants in the end, and that's what he gets with Marin. And then he realizes that's kind of not what he wants, because he thinks this isn't working, this is a waste of time, this is bad, and splits up with Marin and continues just being a good fighter. He decides to focus on himself and becomes a good fighter. And then Android 18 comes along and he's like, oh, that's a nice android right there. I like that android. And then he's kind of reverts a little bit and he gets stuck thinking about women again. And it almost costs the entire planet because he decides not to blow up a woman who he finds attractive.
Yes, he stamps on the remote of the detonator.
He does. And you see Krillin, you know, he starts his story being motivated by wanting to become strong to impress women, to completely being overloved. Well, not overloved, but he's completely in love with this android who he hasn't even really talked to at this point. He just finds her attractive, and it almost costs everything because of that. And
to be fair, he did get a kiss on the cheek.
He did. And that was enough for Krillin to be like, right, my motivations have changed. Screw the Earth. I know what I want. and it's not very pure. And yeah, you see him go. He's still fighting the good fight. Throughout all of Dragon Ball, he is helping out at every single point, getting stronger, putting his life on the line against every single villain. Even in the Red Ribbon arc in original Dragon Ball, almost dying to General Blue, he's constantly putting himself in the front line, becoming stronger. And yeah, you still see that characteristic of him wanting a good woman in his life, though. And then, after the Cell Saga ends, you see him change again, because it goes from being that man who's trying to just spoil the pretty woman and it doesn't work out for him to actually settling down a bit. He's found the right woman now. He has found exactly what he wants. He becomes a family man. And he starts a family with 18. He has baby Marin, named after his ex. Oh, that's a bit strange, Krillin, but okay.
Yeah, I've never understood that.
Yeah, and then
Did they just forget about that?
I think so. I think it's kind of like the launch thing where it's like, who's launch? It's like Marin seems like a good name. I can't remember a Marin. Let's use that. But yeah, he has a kid. He has a wife who he loves so much, and he's constantly showing her off. And he's constantly showing how strong she is. And yeah, he finds a female who's better than him, and he loves that. And he's constantly wanting to do right for her. And he shows that he's a good guy even more by becoming a policeman. You know, he does a good thing with his strength. You know, none of the other Z fighters really, you know, they're constantly training to save the Earth. Krillin, in his free time, decides, you know what, I'm going to try and help Earth even more by becoming a policeman. And he's great at his job. He's stopping crime constantly. And then in Super, when the Earth gets under threat again, he decides, okay, I need to stop my job to save the Earth. Let's go all out. Let's go back. Let's shave the head. Let's train again, and let's help out. And yeah, that's why I love Krillin. His character arc is great. He goes from just being this angry little kid to trying to find the right woman and finds the wrong one, to finding the right woman, becoming a family man, settling down, getting a job as a policeman to help save the Earth, and then putting his life on the line again in the Tournament of Power. It's a full circle. He will constantly do what he can to help out, and I love that. Great arc.
It is. It is. I had a feeling that it might be that. I had a feeling you either might pick Roshi or go with the Krillin. I knew you would go. I thought you would go early. I thought you would go Dragon Ball. It would definitely be someone Dragon Ball based.
Yeah.
Because I thought it could be Yamcha because he started as a bandit and you know he misbehaved and but he's gone off now. He's silent now. That's the problem.
He doesn't progress enough, which is why I said he's the most he's the character who deserves more the most.
Yeah.
So I can't say he's had good character growth because he hasn't. He's constantly stagnated. But my backup was actually Bulma, because
weirdly enough, I thought Bulma a lot as well.
Yeah, she starts off as just this kid who wants to get a boyfriend, and she's really smart, but she's also pretty dumb at the same time. She's very good with technical stuff, but in
she's like ditzy.
Yeah, in the streets, she doesn't know what she's doing. And she grows up, becomes ultra smart, and she's a big asset to the entire team, constantly making new gadgets, world's most wealthy woman, all this stuff. And she becomes a strong character after she settles down with Vegeta and has a kid too, while still being a good character on the show. So yeah, she was my backup, but Krillin takes the number one spot for me.
She's never really faded into the background, despite never being a fighter on a show that revolves around martial arts and fighting. She's never in any arc disappeared.
No,
even in an arc that's on a different planet.
Yeah, which is crazy, and that shows how good of a character she is. Like, she doesn't fight ever, not even once. She gives out the occasional slap, but apart from that, that's it. Yeah. And she's still around, and she's great.
No, she's. I think she's been present in every arc.
Yeah, that I think she has. Yeah, I think you're right.
Which is impressive. But no, I approve. Mine was going to be Piccolo for obvious reasons.
Yeah, Piccolo changes a lot.
Yeah, the son of the rival, son of Demon King Piccolo, the rival.
Yeah,
turning into the ally, the mentor, obviously the arc that he builds.
Yeah.
But no, Roshi felt he deserved it.
Yeah, and to me, like every Hall of Fame that we do, I'm either backing myself or when you say your pick, I'm thinking in the back of my head, even though I've got to argue my point, I'm thinking, yeah, I kind of know who's going to win this. And
Mhm.
there's been times where I think it's close, but still I'm thinking, I've got a feel I know who's going to edge it. This one, I really don't know.